Rob Stone, 2 damn phones. Babylons can't crack the code. Used to sip out styrofoam, but fig.
G'day guys, it's me, back again with another YouTube video. And today's video is my top 10 least favorite countries. And just a heads up, if your country is in this video and you are offended on what I'll say, then grow a pair of fucking balls, shut the fuck up. I'm from Australia, but my parents are from the most hated country in the world for 7 of the past 9 years, so if you are offended, then shut the fuck up. Okay? How do you think I feel? My country is literally the most hated country in the world off of fake shit, so shut the fuck up. Also, this video is sponsored by Pepsi Max. Number 10. France. Number 10 is France. The reason why I do not like France is, one, is because of it's a tourist trap, especially in Paris. There's not much to it. It's just an Eiffel Tower, but that's it. Like, you can go to like Marseille, which is alright, but it's mostly a bit of a dead city. Like, there's not much to it. The people there are pretty rude. They're very arrogant, and if you go to France and you talk to them in English, they'll be pissed off. But if you talk to them in French, they'll be pissed off as well. So it's best off that you do not talk to French people at all. Number 9. Somalia. A lot of conflict and insecurity going in Somalia in recent years. They have famine, they have millions and millions of people in malnutrition and diseases such as cholera. There's conflict and social and political instability aspect of the country, but there's a lot of corrupt countries, so there must be a reason why Somalia is in this list, but other corrupt countries are not in this list. This is again because of the people. Now, I know that there are some very good Somalians, but there are also some very bad Somalians, and they come to these countries and they wreak havoc. Like, they bring their corruption and bring their into a country that has values that are completely different. Obviously not all Somalians are like this. I know there are some very good Somalians, but just some of the people just give the whole entire Somalia of a bad luck. Number 8. Ukraine. Ukraine's not the aggressor of the war, but Ukraine has every single time they have rejected peace deals. They say that they want every single land back, which is complete bullshit. Even though 2 regions called Donetsk and Luhansk, which I know I've completely butchered those 2 names, but those 2 regions should be part of Russia. They do not want to be part of Ukraine, yet President Zelensky still wants to keep it. And plus, if Ukraine wants to talk about borders and they wanting all their land back, then they must give up the land called Transcarpathia, which I'll butcher that name too, but that land belongs to Hungary, but Ukraine is right now occupying that land. And Ukraine has also been condemning countries like Slovakia, Hungary, China, Belarus and North Korea. They're helping Russia attack Ukraine. Yet, they're the ones who sent 1,600 troops to help America invade Iraq. Do research. China, Hungary, Slovakia have not sent any troops. The troops that were founded were volunteers. China, Slovakia, Hungary has not made any orders to enter the fight with Russia. And Ukraine also supports Israel, which they are right now committing a genocide in Gaza. So they can't, talk about Russia when they are supporting Israel, which is a country that has been doing things that 10,000 times worse than Russia. Zelensky wants the war to keep going because he'll get billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year by United States. And Zelensky has declared a martial law, which means that there will be no elections. This means that Volodymyr Zelensky can remain in power as long as he wants. And in 2025, there is a corruption scandal around Ukraine with Volodymyr Zelensky. Anti-corruption investigators has uncovered a $100 million bribery and kickbacks scheme in the Ukraine state energy company of EnergyGo Atom. This will weaken the anti-corruption agency, which is a law that's backed by the Zelensky party to reduce the independence of key watchdogs. And this means that the government can control corruption cases that are pursued. And the Ukrainian anti-corruption agency has carried out a raid on the officials and the government departments and people who work for Zelensky, and maybe Zelensky himself, have been accused of fleeing to Israel when their office got raided. Number 7. Azerbaijan. Now, one of the reasons why I do not like Azerbaijan is because of the disputed territory called Nagorno-Karabakh, which is a territory disputed by Azerbaijan and Armenia. Now, this Nagorno-Karabakh region is over 90% ethnic Armenians. During the fall of the Soviet Union, which both Azerbaijan and Armenia were part of the Soviet Union, and then the borders were, which made the Nagorno-Karabakh region part of Azerbaijan, even though it is over 90% Armenian. What does Azerbaijan do? They do an ethnic cleansing in this region and a blockade, killing Armenians who want to leave this region. And this issue has not been talked enough. What Azerbaijan is doing to Armenia is completely unacceptable. They support Israel. They're one of the biggest allies of Israel, even though they are a Shia Muslim country. And Azerbaijan should be supporting Palestine to support their Muslim brothers, yet they call Israel their brothers and they give them oil, and Israel also gives Azerbaijan weapons to commit this ethnic cleansing and commit this blockade in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. Number 6. Bahrain. Now, right now, Bahrain is facing significant human rights violations and political repression, and the government heavily restricts freedoms of expression, association, and assembly with harsh punishments for political opposition. And in a 2011 protest during the Arab Spring, Bahrain saw a bunch of protests calling for a political reform, but the government has cracked down on these protests, and opposition figures were arrested. And there's also a religious bias because there's a lot of Shia Muslims in Bahrain, but the leader is a Sunni Muslim, and the Shia Muslims face a lot of discrimination, but obviously the Sunni Muslim leader has said that there are no bias, which we all know that's not true. We all know that the Shia Muslims are being discriminated in Bahrain. I also watched the World Cup qualifiers with Bahrain. The sportsmanship of Bahrain was terrible. There was a match against China and Bahrain. China was about to score their second goal, but Bahrain did an absolutely diabolical slide tackle which prevented China from scoring a second goal. And in the match against Japan, they brought lasers, which is totally unacceptable. So number 4, the United Kingdom. Now with the United Kingdom, it's more so England that I have a problem with, because I quite like Wales, I quite like Scotland, I quite like Northern Ireland, but it's England that I have a problem with. First of all, I watch cricket. Australia and England have a very, very fierce rivalry, and it's arguably the biggest rivalry in cricket. Matches in England at the time of recording this video, the sportsmanship of the English players, the sportsmanship of the fans was despicable. Members of boards were kicking Australian players, which is fucked up. It's because it just looks like such a miserable, boring, gloomy country that rains 24/7. They think 30 degrees Celsius in summer is fucking boiling, like sizzling. But that's their hot weather for them, which is crazy. Which gets a bit annoying when I say, oh, 30 degrees is too hot. Mate, shut the fuck up. Just because of all the gangs and the hoods. Gangs, there's so many like robberies going on. And everybody just blames on immigration. Yet this issue was here before immigration. You always see videos of stabbings and like theft, burglary, kidnappings. This has been happening for a very, very long time, yet no one has done anything about it. Accents. Why is there 100 accents? And some of the accents just sounds dreadful and you can't even understand them. Another one is influencer zone. It's influencers everywhere, specifically in London. And these British, these English influencers think they're so above the world. They think they're so important to people, which is super, super annoying. Number 3, the United States. First podium of this video, it is the United States, and I could go on so long about why I have such a negative view about this country. They're the biggest hypocrites in the world. They condemn China, they condemn Russia, they condemn Iran, they condemn North Korea. Yeah, they completely fucked over Afghanistan. They invaded Iraq. They have accused Iraq of having weapons that cause mass destruction when they knew Iraq do not have weapons of mass destruction, yet they still chose to invade Iraq, killing many people. And the war crimes they've committed, not just from these two scenarios, have committed many war crimes. They've committed war crimes in basically all of the Middle East. They've committed war crimes in Europe. There's so many instances you can do your research. They have killed prisoners of wars when you're not allowed to kill prisoner of wars, like German prisoners of wars, and then after that they raped the women in Germany, they raped women in Iraq, they raped women in Afghanistan. And that's just to name 3 countries. They've done that to so many countries. The countries in the East wanted more territory, wanted to push their borders more and more, yet they want to take over Greenland. Greenland has been a part of Denmark for 800 years. They can't just take Greenland. I can't stand the people. They are super annoying, super arrogant, and super ignorant. They only care about their own culture. They think other country cultures are meaningless. They disrespect other countries' culture. Yeah, if a country disrespects America, they'll get super offended. Also, it's a very woke country. You know, you see pride parades basically 24/7, and also the safety. There's, just like England, there are hoods everywhere and there's gangs everywhere. You always see on the news that someone's been shot, there's a mass shooting, or like a rapper has been assassinated. How the country is run, in paying GST, that's not even added on the price tag. In Australia, if a price tag says $2, it is $2. But in America, you buy something that's $2, it'll come up to like $2.32. Why didn't you put the whole entire price in the price tag? And the tipping culture is so strange for someone who lives in Australia. Why do companies not pay the employees? Pay the employees more. You are expected to pay 20% extra of what you're paying. That seems so far-fetched as someone who does not live in America. Like all the workers do, is bring the food to me. Why do I need to pay them an extra 20% out of my own paycheck just for them to give me the food? I can literally just walk up to the bloody counter and walk with my food back to my table. It's not that hard. I can't stand how I call the sports teams world champions. World champs of what? There's only one country competing, yet they call themselves world champions. Number 2, Israel. Now, I can't go into too much depth of why I have such a negative view about this country, because as many people of you would know, the Jews control the world, they control our media and control every single politics. So if I go in too much depth of why I don't like this country, then I might get a fucking hitman trying to take me out, which is not what I want. Many people don't even recognize Israel as a country, and with good reason. History of Israel, and you'll be absolutely mortified, because in 1947 the UN proposed a land to the Jewish and the Arabs. The Arabs were not considered. The Arabs never got a choice when they are the indigenous people of the land. Yet they did not get to have a choice of how the borders should be made. Israel was made into establishment on the land that's been occupied by the native Palestinian people, and also they have done the Nakba of 1948. In the Nakba of 1948, a war broke out between the Arab states and Israel, and 700,000 Palestinians were displaced and had to flee. So the legitimacy of the state of Israel is heavily talked about because of the Nakba of 1948, where the country of Israel has been built from the death and the blood of the Palestinian people. And if you look further into the history of Palestine has been in this land for generations. They've been in this land for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And then after Israel just took the land, they stole the land. They killed and displaced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. There's many proof of Palestine existing before 1948. Hundreds and hundreds of years before 1948. Not only the creation of the country is built from deaths and displacements of the Palestinians, what they are doing to Gaza is unbelievable. Israel has always been complaining about what has happened in October 7. Israel has been doing the same thing for 70 odd years before 1948, and they're also doing worse things after October 7, October 8, October 9, October 10, all the way to present day of filming this video. They are committing a brutal genocide. Well over 100,000 Palestinians have passed away. The majority of them are women and children. And not only that, the people of Israel are absolutely terrible. And in Israel, you must join the IDF, where you get deployed into Gaza and they will shoot any single Palestinian they see. And personally myself, I've had some pretty bad experiences with the people of Israel. I think they are very hostile, they are very aggressive, they are very ignorant, and they are the type of people that you do not want to be around. Number 1 for my least favorite country in the world, Japan. As I said in the beginning of this video, I am Chinese, and many of us are raised to hate on Japan. So when I was like 7 years old, my parents told me to hate on Japan, and Japan is the enemy. Japan has committed the genocide in China. They've killed 20 million Chinese people. There's a city called Nanjing, and back then they had a population of 400,000. They killed 300,000 of them within 4 weeks. Literally cannot go into too much depth of this massacre, of this genocide, because this video will get taken down or if I go into too much depth, because the way that the Japanese have killed the Chinese is absolutely horrific. It is too far. YouTube will take this video down. You can go into the comments and say, oh, every single country has done something bad. Every single country has done fucked up shit. Yeah, Japan has never ever acknowledged this genocide. They have never ever attempted to reconcile with China. They've just continued to hate on China, and they made themselves look like the good guys and make China look like the bad guys. If you look at Germany, Germany has apologized of their wrongdoings in World War II. Every single year they give money to Poland. Every single year the politicians go to Poland and mourn and apologize for their wrongdoings in World War II. Japan never wants to do that. And in Japan they do not teach. They hide their history from the people and hide their history from the world. They create anti-Chinese propaganda in Japan. So many people in Japan hate on China, even though their country is the one that committed genocide in China. So which makes it even worse is that China is the most hated country in the world, and Japan is the most loved country in the world, and one of the reasons why Japan is most loved is because of culture. Over 90% of Japanese culture originated from China, yet Japan got all the credit and they got all the love while China is hated. Everyone always says that Japanese people are very friendly, which is completely false. It may seem friendly in the outside, but inside they're not good people. There are some good Japanese people, but most Japanese people are racist, are extremely judgmental. They want everyone to be perfect and in their way. And if someone acts not accordingly of how they want to behave, they'll have extremely negative views of that person. Inside Japan, it is very seductive. You see like anime tits everywhere. You will see, women dress very sexually in public, which is crazy. There are kids everywhere. You cannot dress so sexually in front of kids. Yet it still happens, and they get loved from this. Japan literally gets loved dressed up in revealing clothes in public. Japan gets loved in the world for dressing up immorally and seductively and revealing. Like you see in so many restaurants how they dress up in like school uniform bikinis, and it's like a tourist attraction. Also in game shows, they have women doing so many sexual things live on free-to-air TV for kids to see, which also is loved by the world, which I can't see why people love this so much. I think the Japanese people are very not mature. You see so many like this kawaii, acting half their age because they don't seem cute, which is just not cute at all. Even though most of the world thinks cute, I don't think it's cute at all. And so everyone always says, oh, Japan's such a happy country. I have the most suicides in East Asia. Japan is the rape capital of East Asia. The new, also with Japan democratically electing extreme far-right prime minister, it just shows that the racism in Japan, the views of the Japanese people. She wants war with China. And obviously it's Japan. The world believes that it's China that wants war with Japan. China does not want war. Yet Japan is wanting war with China and is trying to provoke a war between China and Taiwan.